Good morning. This is Andrew Manyaka. The purpose of this session is just to illustrate as to how I can assist someone in terms of paying attention to detail, and just to make sure that, especially in a world where there's a lot of data that needs to be worked with, or a person or an employee needs to work with a lot of data, there needs to be accuracy in terms of data capturing. Now, in the recruitment space or in the employment space, the person who deals with data, or to ensure that data management is reliable and it's authentic, we need to ensure the accuracy of the data. Now, there are a number of exercises that we can do to test whether the person is good in terms of attention to details, or maybe to assist the person, maybe identify the gaps and assist the person with, in terms of making sure that this the detail to, or attention to detail, is elevated. Now I'm going to show two examples of the questions that we may ask, some of the exercises that we may ask in terms of assisting that person. Here's a question. It says, compare the two lists below and show the rows that contain errors. Now, this is a comparative question where a person needs to identify data sets. There are two data sets. Now, the person needs to identify the differences between the two data sets. Now, if the person can easily identify the differences in one data set, the data set in column 2 and the data set in column 3, the differences, or probably the similarities, then you know that at least there are some elements of being able to ensure that that person can actually pay attention to detail. Now, here's the other question. Compare the two lists of figures and choose the answer that represents the amount of difference between them. Now, also, this is the information is in tabular form, as you can see. Now, the relative questions there would, this is a multiple choice kind of question where the person is expected to compare the lists and of figures and choose the answer that represents the amount of differences between them. So yeah, these are the kind of questions that I might ask. And on top of these, we can use figures. For example, a triangle, and then we can in terms of a triangle, we divide it into segments. Let's say 3 segments, and one segment is shaded. Now we keep on rotating the triangle without changing the segment, and then from there we can actually ask our candidate or our trainee or our employee if they can actually pick up the difference or pick up the similarities or cite the similarities in terms of the same triangle, or the shape with the which is the same, primarily the same, but only the orientation has been probably altered. So basically, those are a few examples that I can use to train a person in terms of paying attention to detail. Thank you.